Hello everyone. Welcome back. We are halfway through Hustings. If anyone wants another break later on, just send me tweets saying you need a wee, which is what I've just done on the live feed, so apologies for that. And we'll have another break later on if people want one. But for now, we've got the CCO charity Hus, so can we have Mia and Harriet, please? Can we have Harriet first, please? 3 minutes. Oh, just a second. Three minutes when you're ready.
Okay, hi, I'm Harriet and I'm running for CCO charity. Okay, so some of you won't know what LUSU Gives was set up for, and last year it was set up as a response to the need to coordinate charity on campus. The role of CCO charity has come out of sort of LUSU Gives efforts this year to get charity recognised in a bigger way on campus. But there is far more to do, and I have a vision, I hope, of where we should go. So I want volunteering for charity to be the norm and for us all together to raise much more money across campus. I want all societies, JCRs and wider LUSU to know LUSU Gives is the place to go or to come to get help organising charity events. I want existing charities to benefit greatly from a new charity culture, as well as more substantial ways LUSU Gives can help them. I want individuals to have a real reason to volunteer their time. We are a top university in so many ways, and I want charity at Lancaster to be up there. Okay, so I have a vision. I have sort of like an 8-point plan. So firstly, I want to increase awareness of LUSU Gives on campus to let people know that it is a place to go. A key part of this will be to set up an office space on campus. I also want a regularly updated website where news is easily obtained. Okay, so to engage more individuals, I want to create a scheme whereby volunteers get formal recognition for their skills they gain from doing charity work with Gives. Another way I want to engage more individuals in the work of LUSU Gives and charity is through challenge events, so climbing Kilimanjaro or cycling Paris to London. 4, to help current charity society on campus, I want LUSU Gives to encourage greater communication between charity execs and offer them more support. 5, I want to bring in charity JCR members who will be the link from LUSU Gives right into the heart of each college. 6, I want to improve communication between LUSU Gives and LUSU to ensure greater success and clarity. 7, I want LUSU Gives to be able to create a campus-wide charity events in collaboration with JCRs and LUSU, so such things as Red Nose Day and Children in Need. And finally, I want LUSU Gives to be in communication with other universities. So what can I bring to the role of CCO charity? Having been a member of Gives from the start and elected Vice President, I feel that I have the vision to carry Gives forward, and I have the passion and interest in it already to carry it and continue to carry it forward. Thank you. Vote Harriet. Thank you.
3 minutes when you're ready.
Hi, I'm Mia and I'm running to be your first charity cross-campus officer. I have participated in and helped to organise a large number of charity events on campus. I performed in the Cinderella pantomime for the Twins Appeal, helped with cake sales and street collections for WaterAid and much more. I also try and attend as many charitable events as possible. This includes the Campus Charity Chuckle, the Ballroom Society's annual charity showcase, and a Laugh to Beat Cancer concert, to name but a few. I worked with an events company in my local area to help organise Liverpool Pride and Southport Flower Show. Both of these events required me to manage a budget and locate and contact local businesses. I gained and developed skills in time management, organisation, meeting deadlines, health and safety, marketing and interpersonal skills. I am the current Vice President Events for County College. This involves me having primary responsibility for organising Extrav and Winter Ball. This has given me a lot of experience in event management and how to lead a team. I regularly organise and participate in charitable events outside of university. This has included organising a cancer care concert, a 24-hour sing-a-thon for Queen's Court Hospice, and I'm also running the Morecambe 10K three-legged in June for the Newman Holiday Trust. I would like to veer away from using social media as the sole communication tool for publicising. I am keen for LUSU Gives to take a more active approach in their publicising in order to reach a wider audience and to increase awareness and approachability. I will organise a cross-campus charity challenge. I would like this to become an annual event which would take place during a possible rebranded Raising and Giving Week. I also want to make the structure of LUSU Gives more accessible to the student body. I would do this by creating a family tree of the societies affiliated with LUSU Gives, displaying clearly how other students can link into that system. I want to work closely with all the welfare officers to try and promote relevant charities alongside their campaigns. My aims for the next academic year will be to increase awareness and recognition of LUSU Gives across campus, to accumulate all fundraising amounts to enable people to see the overall amount raised across the year, to work with and assist all societies, clubs, officers and students who seek help for running charitable events. Finally, I want to stress the point that I have a genuine interest in and passion for charity work, and would love the opportunity to assist and encourage others to get involved with some of the great events we have going on across campus and in Lancaster. I hope that my enthusiasm for the role has been put across, and I hope that you consider voting me at number 1 for your Charity Cross Campus Officer.
Any questions? Ben?
Hi guys, so my first question is, what do you consider to be the biggest challenge for you going into this next year in terms of charity at Lancaster, and what do you intend to do about it?
Mia first.
I think the biggest challenge is to get more people involved. I know that we've been struggling for members with LUSU Gives, and I think at the moment I personally felt as though if you weren't on the LUSU Gives exec, it was difficult to get involved. I mean, you could get involved with volunteering, but I'd like to encourage more people to come to the general meetings that they hold every other week, and try and get out there in the square and encourage people to join as part of the Lancaster Award. And yeah, I'd be keen to take a more active approach in promoting it.
I think the problem that we have at the moment is how people understand what LUSU Gives is. There's a great misunderstanding of what we try to do, and basically we're there to support anybody, any societies, anything that wants to do charity on campus. We're there to facilitate you and help you work through the motion of going about doing charity. To sort of combat, like to help that, I'd say, like you, a more active role in the student body. There was a tendency to sit back, I think, this year, but I want to be out there and talking to them, because that's the way people are going to be engaged, by us engaging with them.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Rosalie, then Becky.
As you know, we've got a very big volunteer base within LUSU Involve. How would you work with them over the next year?
Harriet first, please.
I actually really want, we've been in sort of talks with LUSU Involve and meetings currently to try and one of the issues is people have asked, oh, what's the difference between you and Involve? And we are completely solely charity based, and we just want to help people volunteer for charity. So we need to establish like the different roles, sort of cement them in stone, to understand them and to just work with them, to go in and meet with them and communicate with them, because that's the issue. When there's a loss of communication, that's when problems happen.
Yeah, I'll just repeat the point, like it's about raising awareness of the difference between the two. I said in my HUS that I'd want to work alongside welfare officers to promote relevant charities. So I'd like to do the same with LUSU Involve, maybe. I mean, I've not been as heavily involved as Harriet has with LUSU Gives this year, but I'd be keen to try and do the same with LUSU Involve and promote relevant charities. I mean, charity isn't just about raising money specifically. You can go out into the community, you can go to care homes, volunteer there, and that is charity. So we need to create a link with LUSU Involve.
Hello. I've done quite a lot of research in the past on different raising and giving organisations within student unions and within universities in general. They sort of differ between facilitating the charity societies which are already there on campus and organising their own fundraising events for either just charities for a one-off event or supporting that charity for a year. I don't know if this makes sense, but how do you see LUSU Gives as a entity sort of further forward? Do you see it supporting a certain number of charities a year, or do you see it focusing more on event-based charity and society-based charity?
Mia first.
I see it as supporting the charity societies on campus, but I just see it as being open to supporting absolutely any event. It'll be more event-based, in my opinion. So any student society club on campus that is raising money for whatever charity they've selected, we'd support them for that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with Mia in part. But I think, for me, I'd like Gibbs to go down the route of to be something akin to Involve. So we are there to facilitate them and to support anybody who wanted to do. We obviously want to help the current charities on campus, but we want to work forward to help anybody, because I know there's such a great body of people who want to do charity on campus. They just don't know how to access the help or the means to do it, and that's what I think we need to move forward to do.
Thank you. Any more questions? Liz, then Charlie, then... Sorry, I can't quite see you, but behind them.
Hiya. You spoke about kind of keeping I think Mia did, a running total of the amount charities raise, which I tried to do this year, and it's actually nigh on impossible. Groups such as Islamic Society, I found out that they raised, I think it's over £3,000, just because I saw someone in the square, and they said that that's what they were doing. A lot of these societies and people do fundraising events outside of LUSU and needing LUSU Gives help, to be honest. How would you encourage people to talk to you about what they're doing so that you can see if you can facilitate them? How can you promote what you guys have decided to do so that you can get volunteers to do it and generally raise awareness of LUSU Gives?
Harriet first.
This is why we created the CCO, for there to be a central point where people can go that is concerned with charity. So the fact that it is here and that we're here on the stage right now and this is being held is, I think, a step in the right direction of raising awareness of what we want to do and what we want to be able to facilitate. By way of going about sort of getting people in, I think it's about social media, publicising, it's about talking to people and understanding what they want of us, not only of what we want of them or what we're asking. So it's the total thing is really hard at the moment, and our treasurer is trying to do it currently. But I think we need to join together, and people don't know that we're trying to total it. So letting them know we're trying to total it to show what Lancaster can do, that's also a different route.
Yeah, I think Harriet's like absolutely spot on, and also I'd be willing to just go to all the, I'd contact all the presidents of all the societies and try and go to as many meetings as possible. I'd be willing to show up once a term and just let them know, please tell us if you're running an event. We don't necessarily have to help them, they don't have to have our help, but if we let them know we're trying to tally up a total, and it's just about communication, I think.
Hi guys, good luck both of you. Yeah, my question is quite simple, if I can remember it. Oh right, okay, this is awkward, isn't it? No, you're both fantastic, wonderful, well done. Congratulations. Congratulations on running. Sorry guys.
Hi. There was just a couple of things in Harriet's speech that I just wanted clarification on. You said about having an initiative to get formal recognition. I just wondered how that would work. And also you mentioned about charity JCRs, and I wondered how that would work as well.
Yeah, start off with the initiative. Coming out of the activities conference, there's quite a bit of emphasis on project management. And so I came out of there thinking, right, people want to be involved with something that's going to get them that's going to lead to something at the end of it. So my thoughts were to try and see if Seek, or communicate with Seek, and see if we could do something that gets people formally accredited for their work that they do with GIVE. So if you did 10 hours of volunteering with us, we could accredit you, and so would Seek, and it could go towards things such as the Lancaster Award. Alternatively, you could do a project that is facilitated and supported by us, and it is also accredited by Seek and the Lancaster Award, perhaps.
10 seconds.
JCRs, we just want a JCR, charity member, basically, to be there, like the sole member of the... Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Ben?
So LUSU Gives can support any charity that they want. What do you think would be the best way to select a charity to hold an event for if you've not already been approached by a member, for instance? Like you knew you wanted to do something at Christmas, no one's come to you. What would you do to go out and pick that charity and support it?
Mia first, please.
I think I'd ask everyone at the general meeting, and I'd probably research any relevant charities that linked in to around Christmas time, like such as homelessness and things. I'd give some suggestions, but I'd contact all the members and say, if you can think of any, bring them along to the meeting and we'll have a vote. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Democracy is going to get you where you need. You need the support of your members, the support of your exec, and I'd hold a poll, I'd ask people, and we'd vote on what was voted.
Thank you. Any more questions? Liz?
Hi, sorry, just another quick one. Obviously, recently there's been a lot of awareness for the Twins Appeal in Lancaster. There are actually a number of different charities that are closer to home, and I think it would be really nice for LUSU Gives and the wider student body really to get more involved with Lancaster and as an area. I was just wondering if you guys knew of any charities in the local area.
Harriet first, please.
Yeah, I know Teenage Cancer Trust work a lot with here. There is Cancer Care. There's quite a few of those. Sort of in Lancaster specifically, they're the sort of. I know there's a lot of charity shops that sort of Bernardo's have a society, so they work closely with the shop. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of Cancer Care. I helped a group of students who were trying to run that as part of their Seek thing. And I know that they did beer festival, but where they got they raised some money for all the charities. I unfortunately couldn't go, but yeah, and I'd also be willing to research. I mean, I can't say I know every charity, but I definitely, if I got the role, then I would seek to find all the charities closer to home and try and do a bit more events for them.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yep.
Hi, this is for both of you. I know you're both going into third year. I just wondered what other things that you had on in your life and whether you could really handle such a big job as taking this on.
Sorry, Mia first.
Yeah, I'm the Vice President of Events of County, so if I was elected in this role, then for one term, I would be the Vice President of County College and CCO charity, but I wouldn't have run if I didn't think I could handle it.
I do a joint degree and I'm not allowed to do a dissertation, so I only do my modules that I'm set, so I'm free in that respect, and And sorry. And so yeah, I'd be free and willing to donate all my time. I feel that I have done this year. Perhaps could do more if I want to pull my hair out more. So yeah, I'm honestly really invested in this, and I don't know whether that comes across because I'm quite nervous, but I really am sort of like 100% in this.
Tappy, do you have a question?
Hi. As you may or may not know, there was actually a charity scam that happened right at the end of Easter, and I fell prey to it myself. And I've had a few students say that they're a bit more wary about actually donating to charities now because of that. Do you feel that this has had an impact on the work that you're going to be able to do, and how would you go about combating this?
Harriet first, please.
Yeah, I was just really shocked by that because you don't expect that to happen. So for me, it was a shock. I do think it's had an impact, and I think Lancaster was already quite sceptical of doing this when somebody offered you a bucket to put money in. They're sort of quite startled, and to be fair to them, I don't have it like I would sort of. But to combat this, I think we need to move away more from putting buckets in people's faces and raising this. We need to do it through means of like a charity evening, like they work perfectly, and coordinating charity on campus, that's the main thing, awareness and coordination.
Yeah, same again. I think we should move away from just putting pots everywhere where people should put money in, and we should make it a more like active thing where we do events to raise money. And also, I know that we've got like a police Twitter at the moment who keep us informed of things like that, and you should always ask somebody to see like their badge or some sort of proof of identity to see if they are, yeah, who they are.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yep, I'm just behind Lucy. I can't really see you properly.
Some societies have got charitable commitments, and they don't necessarily want to be recognised by LUSU Gives or even maybe the union as a whole. So I know the theatre group recently raised some money for charity. Is that an issue as far as you guys are concerned, or are those societies, you know, are they okay to go on raising money under their own belt?
Mia first, please.
I don't see it as an issue at all. I know that LUSU Gives is also there to like lend out volunteers, even if they don't get involved at all. They'll just send some of their members to help. But if you don't want LUSU Gives help at all, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, we might ask if we can, you know, take the amount that you've raised and add it to the total. But yeah, I don't see why we'd have to get involved if the society wasn't up for it.
No, yeah, charity is very subjective, and it's quite a sensitive subject in some respects. So I completely sympathise with those people that don't want to post it here, there and everywhere. So no, I would see no problem in that if they wanted to keep it private.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Please
no. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Just another reminder to candidates to go to the pool room for interviews with Belrig FM after their hosts and questions. Thank you. Okay. Next up, we have CCO Education. Can we have Ronnie Rowlands and Caroline Arnold, please? Caroline, can we have you first, please? Thank you. When you're ready.
Hi, I'm Caroline Arnold, and I'm running to be your next cross-campus officer for education. This is a role that can truly affect change, influence policy, and champion students' rights. I believe I have the experience, approach, and ideas necessary to be successful in this role. As Finesse Education and Welfare Officer, I built up an understanding of the needs of students at a grassroots level. Being elected as the Arts and Social Sciences faculty rep has enabled me to work with 10 departments and over 100 reps on a variety of issues and hold the university to account on a variety of levels. In doing so, I have appreciated the opinions, motives and issues faced by the university, and by listening to and evaluating these distinct viewpoints, I have been able to step back and evaluate situations before acting. In this, I have learnt the limits that working with the university can have. However, I'm certainly not one to sit quietly. I have held the university management to account on Senate, speaking out numerous times, in particular against the closure of the music degree and how it was dealt with at the time. This is an issue I was vocal about within the faculty and with my department reps. In addition to working with the university on the PC provision across campus in partnership with the library remodel, I have been working with other academic officers on the Does Your Feedback Make the Grade campaign. This is a campaign to improve the quality of assessment and feedback our students receive by finding out their experiences and the change that they need. This is one of the biggest issues facing us today. As part of this, we have been raising awareness of the students' rights, something I plan on furthering with the next VP Education to establish a Students' Bill of Rights. Moving on to department reps, as some of the unsung heroes within LUSU, but they do need improving. I aim to highlight their importance by formalising the role more and providing them with training that they want and need, with a more engaging department rep conference at an appropriate time. In addition to this, I wish to establish a triangle relationship between academics, reps and societies, with each department working together on student issues, employability workshops and department-specific careers fairs, and hopefully more events like the Discussing Your Modules that I held earlier on in the term. The management school have been doing something similar to this with the work of Erica, Carrie and Ollie, who I wish to work with next in this role. Postgraduates aren't getting enough of the attention from LUSU that they should. One issue I want to focus on is the quality of teaching and marking guidelines postgrads have to work with. I want to provide change you choose. Tell me what needs improvement, get your department reps to work for you. I want to improve the experience that you have here, but no one knows the most pressing issues better than you. You need to come and tell us. I will stand up to secure the best experience for our students, and I will do it with a level-headed and realist approach. We need to be inside the room talking and not shouting at the door from the outside. Let me be a change that you choose, and vote Caroline Arnold, #1 for CCO Education. Thank you.
Okay, and Ronnie Rowlands, when you're ready, please.
Hello there, I'm Ronnie Rowlands. I too am standing for CCO Education. First and foremost, I'm fully aware that yes, it is the spiel du jour and has been for quite a while now, but I'm going to talk briefly about music because it was me who first recognised the music degree closure as an issue rather than a routine management decision, pressured LUSU into taking action, and the emergency general meeting and the policy that came of it. I've been a significantly confrontational member of the Senate because it's better than being management friendly. I challenged the university on its intention to decrease student college representation on Senate and also subjected management to scrutiny over its vastly unethical international partnerships. I've written more articles for SCAM than I can really be asked counting, but they consistently focus on academic issues. I've raised awareness of the music degree closure, the ethics of its international partnerships, the ins and outs of plagiarism, the merging of academic departments and postgraduate funding issues. And I also have a regular column in SCAN in which I knock management about the place and raise awareness of academic issues. And also I'm a LUSU councillor and chair of LUSU Council, so I do the LUSU thing. But what am I going to do next? Well, there are 4 sections and you'll be pleased to know they all rhyme. They are agitation, representation, negotiation and education. Agitation, first of all. As evidenced by the farce that was the closure of the music degree, LUSU could probably do better than to sit on its arse playing solitaire while the apocalypse ensues. So we need to actually pay attention to discussions and not just nod along to them. And if elected, sorry to sound all stereotypically hard, but management will first have to get through me before it cuts a single degree scheme or department. And this is especially important in a time where the very ambitious 110-100 thing is a big issue. Now, management might come along and say, hey, we want to do this to get into the top 100. And you can't just sit there and say, yeah, great, let's do that then. Because you have to look and scrutinise and see what effect, negative effect, that this could have on the university. For example, there have been frequent talks in the university strategy of becoming specialised. Sounds great, but then how many departments and jobs do you have to lose in order to achieve that? Also, the departmental reps. Now, this is the current situation with departmental reps in terms of how management views them. You know, Tony, we're going to close down English language. You're going to tell the course reps? No. You know, they're sort of there purely as a token gesture, really, to point at and say, yes, we did indeed consult. So we need to politicize our student representatives and our course reps. Representation, another point du jour is postgraduate representation. It is a terminally...
10 seconds.
Sorry?
10 seconds.
Oh, gosh. Well, I've actually got quite a lot to get through here, but I will just ask for a quick show of hands for one final thing. How many candidates have exams this week?
Ronnie.
Very interesting. I'll say no more.
Time, Ronnie. Thank you. And could I remind all candidates about their language, please? You are live on LA1 and Bailrig.
Questions, please. Okay, we will go Griff, Jamie, Joel, Liz, and Charlie.
Hello. Awesome. Yeah, I'm a music student, and after the emergency general meeting we had, we've had some consultation with the FTO for education. There was absolutely no contact with any of the music students from the CCO for education, and subsequently I can't help feeling, along with my fellow students, that we've been somewhat forgotten by LUSU, and there's been no attempt to ask our opinions of what's happened since, no action since the general meeting, and no approaches from anyone in LUSU to actually help us out. So what would you do? It's all very well having a big sort of general meeting about these things, but what are you actually genuinely going to do to continue helping particularly the music students who are now fighting a battle to keep the quality of our course?
Ronnie first, please.
Okay, I should say, after the general meeting, there was some action. Student delegates on the Senate and University Court were mandated to vociferously oppose it. The problem was it was left so late that the decision became irreversible. So it was a fight that we didn't win, definitely something that we should start earlier. And I think that feeds in really to staying on the ball, very much taking up these issues as they arrive. And of course, permanent consultation with the affected students is paramount because, of course, we can't be there while new things are being negotiated after the action has been taken. So it's a case of perpetual contact rather than the big explosion of a meeting and then forgetting all about it. It's not something I'd do.
Yeah, similar to Ronnie. Me and Ronnie actually hosted a meeting with music students after we found out that this was being dealt with in such a terrible way. And it's doing things like that, keeping up the consultation. If it's a case that this single teaching outpost that is being appointed isn't good enough, then we'll sit with you and we'll lobby for another one. There's no reason why this isn't the end of a fight. There's no reason why we can't pressure the university to put someone else in to get, even if it's getting more supervision for PhD students. I know there's a PhD student in the music rep course who's struggling with this. They need more support, and it's just a case of contact, I think. Weekly, even if it's weekly, daily, whatever, and being as available as we can to respond to issues as they come up.
Jamie?
Hi, I think I can speak from experience for everyone here when we say that we've all had our fair share of faculty reps that don't really do their job. How would you increase accountability for those that don't perform when they become faculty reps? Or, I mean, reps for their course reps, sorry, not faculty reps.
Caroline first, please.
As part of what I want to do with the department reps is that there are some who are great and there are some, like you said, who don't do what they should and they don't pull their weight. If we formalise the role more, make them more accountable that they have to come to faculty forums or whatever we develop that in, make them accountable to come to education and employability forum if that's what it turns into. And with the conference, make them feel more important. I think that's some of it that people don't feel like they can make an effect. The department rep conference wasn't good enough. We need to put the weight and money that LUSU have, the way that they do behind things like WOC Week, the big officer conference, into a department rep conference. There's over 300 department reps, so that's more than the officers we have. We should be putting the time and the effort behind that.
Yes, and one way, of course, that we can improve the accountability of these reps, you mentioned faculty reps, is of course, and it's been hammered a lot, but bring them back to union council, because that is the place where they sort of have to speak and show that they're doing things. In terms of more accountable departmental reps, again, seconding what Caroline says about greater formalising their role, but also trying to find it's odd because it's not a very big thing becoming a department rep. It's a sort of 5-second flash in your first lecture, whereas really there needs to be far more exposition on the role rather than a lecturer saying, oh, we need a rep. Anyone interested? Yeah, you'll do. And then sort of mostly leaving it at that. So definitely more work into introducing people to those roles.
Joel?
Cheers. Just a quick point of information to a previous remark. As a current CCO for education, I attended all the open forums about music and I campaigned tirelessly for it, albeit reactionary, after I found out how poorly it was dealt with. Leading on from that, as you guys know, and as we'll admit, LUSU were very slow off the mark with the music department. Have you got any ideas on how to stop a repeat of LUSU's failure to react?
Ronnie first, please.
Yeah, it's essentially you mustn't really relax. If you are a LUSU officer, you are expected to be in the know. You are able to attend the meetings at which these things are discussed. So really, it's all about sort of proper. You need to look at things and say, oh, hang on a minute, rather than, as I said in my speech, just nod along to them. So I can't speak for anybody else, but certainly were I to be in the role, it would definitely be a case of full analysis of what's actually happening and considering the negative implications.
Yeah, I think one of the key things is communication. It was dealt with poorly within LUSU and people weren't told that needed to know as soon as they should have done. I think one of the things we need to do, similar to is to keep on our toes. Something which I've always told my department reps is as soon as someone says that a module isn't available or that they're stopping a module, you need to stand up and say something. I've done this within helping PPR reps with modules which have closed down there and finding out what the reason behind this. That was a mundane reason, but there's nothing to say that these things won't happen. For example, with the history department, admissions have dropped. There's nothing to say that history isn't suddenly going to start moving around modules. It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world for them to revamp their modules, but things like that need to be kept an eye on, need to have the communication within LUSU, and anyone that does find out knowledge, like Ronnie did with me, and come and talk to us as soon as you find out anything that might be of an issue.
Time.
Liz?
Hi again. Sorry, just obviously wanted to say to you both, I think you're both amazing candidates and would do greatly in the role. But I just wanted to ask Ronnie, you focus more, obviously we've touched on the fact about department reps. Obviously you have criticised them, and I think many of us have, which I think focusing on them would be a good thing. But I just wanted to ask more, you've spoken a lot about the roles that you've taken on personally as an individual. I wanted to find out your experience of working within a team thus far at the university.
Certainly, I've worked as a LUSU...
Sorry, was that question just for Ronnie?
Yes.
Yes, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, certainly. I worked, well, I've been a LUSU counsellor for quite a while now. Obviously, the whole music thing that sprung up obviously involved a lot of pulling resources together and deploying people and working on policy together. That's one thing. Also, my experience within the SCAN editorial team, I held the post of assistant editor and also culture editor as well, which obviously you have to exhibit teamwork. You have to be speaking to about 50,000 people, asking them where their articles are without getting annoyed with them. So yeah, I've been elected to positions that have required me to work as part of a team. People have found me perfectly fine to work with. I don't think it'll be an issue at all.
Thank you. Charlie?
Thanks. I'll do better this time. A lot of the time we do talk about reactionary issues, the fact that the library isn't good enough, let's improve the library, things like that. I'd like to know just something a bit more positive that you could bring to the role in terms of what are we lacking in Lancaster in terms of the academic facilities we offer students, and what are we lacking and what would you do to try and get it?
Caroline first, please.
Okay. I think one of the things we're lacking is actually a bit of fire within LUSU when it comes to education issues. LUSU is willing to put money, time, effort behind promoting big events such as Grab Ball, but they're not willing necessarily to do it behind our campaigns, whether it's welfare campaigns, whether it's academic, environmental. These are things that students spend a lot of time working on. We put in time, effort, often our own money in at the expense of other things. I mean, we're sitting up here with exams. Like, we need to have the support from LUSU to be able to make a bigger effect. We're often criticised that campaigns haven't reached enough people, not enough people turned up to this event. It's all well and good if we've only got our Facebook and perhaps a college JCR's Facebook talking about it, and LUSU aren't willing to put it in Scan or Squeak.
Yeah, something positive. I mean, there's a lot of positive things going on in the university at the moment, and the library is a good example. We've been given an inch, and we now need to negotiate to sort of take a mile from it. So we have a 24/5 library at the moment. Why not have a 24/7 library? It also, I believe, needs to be fully operational over the summer for postgraduate students, and also our IT provision also. We have a lot of desktop computers everywhere. I think that there should come a time where we begin replacing these with laptops that are for hire, simply for space purposes and to slightly circumvent the dreaded toweling that's been ensuing. Also, the LUSU Job Shop is something that is a great thing if you want to be a brand rep for Teach First or a children's activity leader in Wrexham, but there's nothing really in these offers. I mean, some faculties do offer great placements, but what I'd like to see the Job Shop doing is actually presenting opportunities that are actually directly related to people's degree schemes, that they can undertake summer work and more relevant jobs.
Right. Any more questions? Mia, Becky and Omar.
I'm currently studying psychology and education, which is a course that's stopped taking new applicants as of this academic year. What will you do to help to ensure the quality of our course is still high now that it's in the final year and everything is in the process of closing down?
Ronnie first, please.
Well, presumably at some point, unfortunately, there will be a process whereby they begin moving the staff around. We need to make sure that such moves are timed so as not to interrupt the learning of students and the teaching of students, essentially. And generally just keep in contact with these students and be made aware of whatever issues come up. So definitely timing. Make sure that students don't turn up to their department one day and all their lectures are gone. It's all about winding down the course as soon as it's finished, rather than in the middle of it.
Yeah, I've been working with the head of department on this, and they've just, the difference between this and the music course, which is something which has kind of been worried about a bit, is that they've just been so much more open about it. Yes, they're going to be stopping the undergraduate scheme, but they've just launched a load of new postgrad PhD schemes to try and get more people in. So I think it's not only sitting down with you guys, making sure that you've got the best teaching facility still there and making sure that you don't get put just with one teach outpost or anything like that, that we build relationships with the postgrads which are coming in, which are going to be staying there during your time, and create a support system there as well. There's no reason why the students can't help each other. If they're there with the expertise, they'll be a huge help to this situation, I think.
Becky?
There's quite a disparity between the amount of support given to different departments. Like, I know obviously science and technology get a lot of funding, the management school gets a lot of funding, whereas FAS and certain departments, like I'm in the sociology department, but I actually do media, but media don't get very much support. All of our modules, apart from one or two, are sociology. How will you make sure that support given to all of the different departments is equal, or not necessarily quantitatively equal, but equal to what their needs are?
Caroline first, please.
Yeah, this has been an issue. Working in FAST the past year, I've certainly experienced the feel that we haven't got the same money and support that the university gives to places like the management school. But like you said, it's not necessarily, it's giving equal support, but acknowledging that some of the departments in FAST need picking up, but some of them in FST get forgotten. The management school has had a good system with how they've used their course reps, faculty reps, postgrad board, to create a decent relationship between their academic staff and their like secretarial staff. And I think something like that needs to happen when, in places like sociology where you haven't got that, the best connections with like the Media and Cultural Studies course. Tackling things like the quality needs to happen from within, so it's enabling more meetings, making sure that we have students on the meetings that they need to be on.
Yes, absolutely. It is, in essence, a lobbying issue. I mean, at the moment, officers are currently trying to standardise the feedback offered. It's an issue for undergrads. It's also an issue for postgraduate students as well. There are huge discrepancies between faculties, and oddly, FAS always comes out the worst in these kinds of things. But some faculties have really good levels of support for postgraduates writing funding applications. There are inconsistent standards and regularity of postgraduate supervision across departments, and also there is not a great equality of access to research training also. So this is something that would have to be approached in a sort of, in the sense of a huge campaign, first of all by having very much a stall open in the square that asks actually qualitative questions rather than quantitative ones. So not leading questions, but having questions that could have any answer, compile all those issues and then act accordingly.
Time.
Okay, and Omar, this is the last question we're taking for CCO.
Yeah, Rachel, I have 2 questions. If it's okay, can I ask one and then get to the follow-up?
Okay.
Right, very quickly. Do both of you know of the International Studies Center we have?
I don't, I'm afraid, no.
I have heard rumours of its existence.
Well, the International Studies Center is for international students who cannot make the cut to get into uni, but they're given a second chance to study there for a year, study the subjects for the stream they want to choose, and then get into uni. You talk about postgraduates, undergraduates, but you always forget the students studying in the International Studies Center. I would like to know, why is that? And you guys are very well prepared, great hosts and everything, but why is it that LUSU always keeps ignoring this small minority?
Ronnie first, please.
It's sort of endemic within LUSU, really. A huge issue LUSU has is not only engagement with postgraduate, but also, as you so rightly say, international students. So definitely there are a lot of needs of international students, and you know, if we are able to identify what those services are, then certainly that must take the form of a campaign, an awareness campaign at least, to ensure that people are tapping into these resources that are available to them, because often LUSU can neglect to promote some of the things that could be most helpful to students. Certainly it's part of the reason is simply its massive focus on undergraduate students rather than postgraduates, and also as an extension international postgraduates. So definitely identifying things and promoting them.
Yeah, the reason why it's been forgotten, I'd say, is because it's not that LUSU don't care about it, but they're not promoting it. They haven't. I've worked within education within LUSU for 2 years, and I've heard of the acronym for it, typically, but I haven't had much involvement with it. I think it's a hugely important thing. It's like similar to having foundation degrees. There's some of the students which possibly need the most representation, especially coming through into the rest of the Lancaster process. If we're going to revamp this course rep system properly, they need to have reps, they need to have representation on not just the academic councils, but if there's issues within the IRC, then it needs to come to places like Union Council. It needs to have a proper central focus and not be kind of part of just as just an education issue that we can deal with at the same time as everything else that's going on. It needs to be prioritised.
Okay, thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.